For as long as we have turned our telescopes toward the heavens, a great crimson eye has stared back at us from the clouds of Jupiter. People have long told stories about this great red spot. Some say it is an eternal blemish, a permanent feature fixed upon the gas giant's surface, as unchanging as a mountain on Earth. A big, old, simple idea. And it's wrong. To truly appreciate the great red spot, we must first grapple with its immense size. Looking at a picture of Jupiter, the spot can seem deceptively small against the planet's colossal striped backdrop. But this is a trick of perspective. In reality, the Great Red Spot is a huge, churning oval of crimson clouds, an anticyclone of staggering proportions. It was wide enough to swallow 3 Earths whole with room to spare. Imagine lining up our home planet from pole to pole 3 times over and still not reaching from one end of the storm to the other. Simple numbers help paint the picture. At its peak, the storm spanned over 40,000 kilometers, about 25,000 miles. At its heart, the Great Red Spot is a storm, but it's a storm unlike any on Earth. It is an anticyclone, a high-pressure system that rotates opposite to cyclones. On Jupiter, it spins counterclockwise. Imagine a colossal spinning top made of clouds wedged between 2 powerful jet streams. One moving east, the other moving west. These jets effectively roll the storm between them, helping keep its rotation for centuries. That interaction is key to its incredible longevity, impossible on a small, rocky planet like ours. The winds inside are mind-boggling. The very center is relatively calm, much like the eye of a hurricane, but the edge is ferocious. Spacecraft clock winds exceeding 430 kilometers per hour, about 270 miles per hour. One of the most immediate and captivating questions about the Great Red Spot is simple. Why is it red? For centuries, this has been one of Jupiter's most tantalizing mysteries, and even today, scientists don't have a single, definitive answer. The leading theory is chromophores, chemical compounds that absorb some colors and reflect others. These chemicals are likely colorless deep in Jupiter's atmosphere, but storm updrafts dredge them up to the highest cloud tops. There, harsh ultraviolet sunlight hits them. Infographic. A cross-section shows rising gases and a sunlight ray triggering a color change. Solar radiation acts like a chemical trigger. It breaks apart original molecules, and they recombine into more complex compounds that absorb blue and green and reflect red and brown. Think of it like bread in a toaster. Pale becomes brown with heat. Similarly, upper atmosphere chemicals are toasted by sunlight. Candidates include ammonium hydrosulfide and various hydrocarbons, built from carbon, hydrogen, sulfur, even phosphorus. In UV experiments, they can produce reddish, polymer-like gunk that matches the spot's spectrum. Our understanding of the Great Red Spot is a story of ever-improving vision. It began with faint glimpses through small 19th century telescopes, confirming its existence and slow drift. Then the space age changed everything. Pioneer flew past Jupiter. Voyager flew past Jupiter, giving us our first close-up portraits of the storm. It was no longer a smudge. It became a magnificent, swirling vortex. Texture, depth, complexity. Galileo arrived in 1995, capturing high-resolution images and measuring winds. Cassini flew by en route to Saturn. Hubble kept watch from Earth orbit, building yearly weather maps. We tracked the storm's evolution over decades. Now, Juno orbits Jupiter in a highly elliptical path, swooping over the poles since 2016. Its instruments probe beneath the clouds, microwaves, and gravity fields. Juno revealed the storm's roots extend hundreds of kilometers, far deeper than expected, and the evidence is clear. The Great Red Spot is changing, fast. One of the most profound questions about the Great Red Spot is why it has lasted so long. On Earth, storms are broken by land and loss of heat. Jupiter has no solid surface, no land to stop the winds, so a storm can rage on. The Great Red Spot is a massive self-contained system with immense rotational momentum, like a giant flywheel, hard to disrupt. Jupiter generates internal heat that rises, supplying energy to sustain the vortex. The storm is a thermal engine converting deep heat into the kinetic energy of its ferocious winds. It also feeds on its surroundings. Smaller storms drawn in can be absorbed, adding energy and momentum. These mergers act like periodic refueling. Finally, its location between opposing jet streams traps it in place, preventing it from wandering into less favorable latitudes and helping it maintain structure. It is the perfect combination. No solid ground, internal heat, feeding on smaller storms, and being locked between jets. A near-immortal king of storms. So, the shocking truth about the Great Red Spot is not that it's a permanent, solid feature, but something far more wondrous. It is not an unchanging relic, but a living, evolving entity. The old myth was simple, but the reality, centuries old, shrinking, and changing, is more compelling. It is a dynamic natural laboratory teaching us how heat, pressure, and rotation interact to create complex atmospheres on other worlds, from Earth to brown dwarfs to accretion disks. By studying this nearby example, we refine models for far more distant, exotic systems. Every piece of data from Juno, every image from Hubble, adds a brushstroke to the grand picture. The story is far from over. As the storm shrinks and shifts, scientists watch with rapt attention. Is this the beginning of the end, or part of a long-term cycle we've only begun to witness? Future missions and next-generation telescopes will sharpen our view, map its wanes in 3 dimensions, probe its chemistry and depth, and chase the mystery of its crimson hue.